Okay, I just went, I just clicked the live button.
All right.
Hey, it's John McCabe. Welcome to the show. Hey everybody, and welcome to the John A. McCabe Show, where it's all about accelerating your authority in your business or field of expertise by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, expert speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime in 100 days or less, also known as the Authority Acceleration Program. Today my guest is Everett O'Keefe, someone I met in San Diego as we were attending the same marketing training courses, like I said, down in San Diego over the past 5 years. And during that time, we've also been involved in some high-end masterminds together. Now, Everett's an international #1 best-selling author, having authored and co-authored 5 Amazon #1 best-selling books. He's also helped create and launch more than a dozen best-selling books for his clients. Now, Everett speaks across the nation on the power of publishing, expert positioning, and how to create and leverage mastermind groups and events. Now, he's a co-founder of the Masters, a mastermind group composed of high-performing speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs. He's also the co-founder of the Mastermind Retreat, an exclusive gathering of international marketing experts. Now, he and this group meet twice a year for an experiential event in locations such as Aspen, Yosemite, and also the Caribbean. As an expert coach and consultant, Everett works with an international client base that includes speakers, authors, physicians, and business owners, along with other marketing consultants. Now, Everett and his team work with speakers, as I said, authors, experts, and what they do is these people want to improve their business and their reach through either publishing or video marketing, social media, and strategizing with others through book and product creation and launches, while allowing their clients to focus on their own areas of giftedness. Now, be sure you listen closely to what Everett has to say, because he's someone you can learn a great deal from. He knows very well how to position an entrepreneur and to accelerate their authority using a lot of the same strategies that I actually use with my private clients as well. So be sure to stick around, because when I come back, I'll be joined by my good friend Everett O'Keefe. So just give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. Everett, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you doing,
Good.
John?
I'm doing excellent, doing excellent. So everybody, thanks for joining us today. As I mentioned, my very special guest, Everett O'Keefe. He's a 5-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, co-founder of the Masters Mastermind Group, as well as a Mastermind Retreat. So everybody, please give it up with a flurry of likes, shares, thumbs up, hearts. icons going across the screen for Everett O'Keefe.
Can I go do that for myself too? I'm just going to go give a bunch of love right there. Just
You can do that for sure, my friend.
oops, I accidentally unliked it in the process of trying to like it more.
I can make a great comment about self-love, but I think it's not that kind of a show.
Yeah.
So how you doing today, Everett?
Hey, I'm doing great. This is exciting. I'm glad to be with you, especially live. I mean, hey, there's nothing like live. This is way better than doing just a recorded podcast or something. So thanks for having me on.
Hey, no worries. Whoops, I'm just getting my Facebook pulled up on my phone.
Speaking of live.
So I can give some shout outs a little bit later on. But first thing, before we get started, Everett, how about you tell our audience, because some of the people are on that probably do know you, but there's probably some people that are going to watch us that don't have any idea who Everett O'Keefe is. So why don't you give it like the 3 to 5 minute version of your origin story, where you started, how you get into this business, and sort of what transpired to where you are today.
Sure. First, I'll let you know I'm a husband. I'm a father of 3 kids, like ages 14 to 19, and live in Clovis, California. I've been involved in marketing for many years, but it was always involved in marketing for myself using old-fashioned ways. A lot of networking as I marketed my business at the time, which is that of a vocational rehab counselor. But about 8-9 years ago, there was a transition in my industry, and I needed to make some changes. And about that time, I reconnected with a good friend named John Riding, and we decided to build, of all things, a network marketing company.
Okay.
And wow, that is great for some people. We decided after several years of trying it, we weren't those some people, and we were not.
I'm in that group too. I'm not of those some people.
Yeah, I mean, the irony is we were great networkers. I mean, in the old-fashioned sense of just networking, but actually, yeah. So we won't need to go too far down that road. But it came a time where we decided to sell text message marketing to Main Street businesses. We had what we thought was a really great product, and we were doing a really great job at making no money because we were pricing it for every business instead of only the best businesses. And I found myself waking up in the middle of the night just freaked out about our finances and future. And at that time, actually engaged with some great coaches in the sense of Ed Rush and Mike Koenig's, learning some new strategies, and my whole business changed around. I also started to participate in a mastermind group. And between coaching and the accountability and creativity that came from the mastermind group, my business changed. I just in the last few years, for instance, I would say our income has tripled at least. Nice. I found myself, instead of waking up in the night freaking out about how I was going to pay the bills, I find myself, if I wake up at night, it's because I'm thinking about, wow, what cool thing can I do with that client or with that project? And this last year got to take this last summer, spent a month of it in Europe, 2 weeks treating my family to a trip through England and Ireland, and 2 weeks working with a client in Germany. And those things are so far removed from where I was just a few years ago. And really a lot of it, I have to give credit to great coaching and great masterminding.
Excellent. So what I like to do on the show, Everett, I know you watched yesterday and you've watched a few of the shows before. The first thing I like to do before we really get too far in the interview process is a speed round of questions. Just sort of gives the, lightens it up a little bit, gives the viewer a little better sense of who Everett O'Keefe is on more of a personal as well as professional level. So I like to call it a speed round of 10 questions for the viewers, and anyone watching, please participate along. When I ask the question, please go ahead and enter your answer into the comments. See how your answers compare to Everett's and other past guests. So if you could do that, that would be great. So as always, like I said, play along at home. So are you set, Everett? We got 10 questions. We'll do it in the shortest amount of time possible.
All right, I'll try not to be too verbose.
Okay. So number one, name the book that impacted your life the most.
The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews.
When you were a young boy, who was your celebrity crush?
Yeah. I couldn't put those posters on my wall. I would get in trouble. So I don't know. Okay, Cheryl Ladd. How about that?
Okay. What is the book, podcast, or show that you're into right now?
I like this one. That's what I like. This one.
Okay, excellent. Good answer. So, do you currently work with any coaches? If so, how many?
I would say I still get Ed Rush. One is somebody I still tune into pretty carefully to learn from him.
So, what's your favorite movie of all time?
The Princess Bride.
Okay, caught me off guard with that one.
Really? All right.
It's a great movie. I love that movie. Though.
Yeah. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare.
Are you currently involved in any masterminds? If so, how many?
2. I'm involved in 2.
Okay. Name the person, either dead or alive, who you would most like to meet and have dinner with.
Christ.
Favorite type of vacation, either a beach or adventure tour.
What we just did, family in England and Ireland exploring castles and, yeah.
Excellent. The best business advice you ever received.
Wow. Don't price things for Main Street.
Excellent. The last one is a two-parter. Beer or wine, pizza or wings?
Beer, pizza.
Excellent. Those are my choices as well. So everyone give it up for Everett. Show him some love. Hit the love button. Make sure you share this on your page. Leave some comments. If you have questions for Everett, just definitely leave them in the comment section. We'll try to get to them before the end of the show. So if you're just joining us.
I'm sorry to interrupt the flow here, but also if you put some questions in there and you were watching the replay of this, we'll try to go back and I'll try to answer those questions for you like offline. So just go for it.
Yeah. So we'll be notified of any questions that come in, either Everett or myself, even if this is on a replay, and we'll definitely get those answers to you as soon as possible. So if you're just joining me, I'm speaking with Everett O'Keefe. He's a 5-time Amazon #1 best-selling author and co-founder of the Mastermind Group, as well as the Mastermind Retreat. He also works with speakers, authors, entrepreneurs who want to improve their business and reach through publishing, video marketing, social media, and strategizing with others. So Everett, you and I have been in the same mastermind over the years, and now you've gone on and actually started your own. Can you tell me how that actually got started?
Yes, absolutely. I was at an event, at a Mike Koenig's Ed Rush event, and with my then business partner, John Riding, and he's since passed away, which has been a real challenging part of this story. And then we were approached by a gal who said, "Hey, when can I come to your office and learn like everything there is to learn about marketing?" And we thought, well, like we were totally flattered by that, but we also thought how boring like that would be. Yeah. And we decided instead to create a more fun event. And out of that came a Mastermind Retreat, which the first one took place in Yosemite. And it was a chance for us to all gather in a log cabin in the woods and to build each other's business and go have an incredible time and eat lots of fattening food. And from that came just naturally a really unique mastermind group, because we had been able to first share in the experience of some incredible things that happened in Yosemite that just bonded us together so we could have this phenomenal group. And I know some of the people in the group are on the chat right now. So it's really a special thing.
So how long ago was it that you started that group?
So that was 13, 14. I haven't even really thought about it. I think it was, yeah, that's a good question. I think it was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in around there. So about 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Yep.
So can you talk about some of the successes your mastermind members have had as a direct result of being in your group?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. It's very interesting to watch it happen, because we've had people create projects and businesses together. We've had people collaborate on little things as well as big things. And then we've seen really a number of, I won't call them zero to hero stories because they're not, nobody was a zero when they came in. But there were people whose businesses were at very near to zero. And we've had a chance to watch their businesses really take off. And what's interesting about it is you watch some of them, and a mastermind group will have a lifespan in some people's lives, and they'll participate in one, and then they may not participate in a while. They may outgrow one, stuff like that. We've had some people outgrow the group. They've just gotten so successful and so busy that they don't have a chance to participate in the group that much, or they move on to other ones, ones that are, a lot more expensive. So it's a blast to see it happen. And
that says a lot for your group when you have people sort of graduating from your group into higher end masterminds facilitated by, some of the very well-known top people in the marketing industry.
Like 25K level, that type of thing.
Exactly. So if you're just joining us again, we're speaking with Everett O'Keefe, 5-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, co-founder of the Masters Mastermind Group, as well as Mastermind Retreat. He also works with speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, and helps them improve their business and reach through publishing, video marketing, social media, strategizing with others. So please type any questions you have for Everett in the Facebook comments and give us some likes. I just wanted to give a shout out to, I believe you pronounce her name Yael?
Yep, Yael.
Yael. I've met Yael several times. We actually sat beside each other on a couple of dinners on occasion, and she says that Everett has the best mastermind ever. So
partially because she's in it. She helps to make it the best mastermind group ever.
Yeah, the mastermind group itself is really, it comes from the people who are in the mastermind. It's, you have the facilitators that actually facilitate it, but it's really what makes a great mastermind are the people that join the mastermind. And we'll talk about a little bit about the types of people next, when that actually leads me right into my next question. When you put together a mastermind, what kind of individuals are you looking to have in your group, and how do you actually select them?
Okay, so this is super important. And before we go this, I want to explain why we're even talking about this.
Okay.
Because this isn't about how we create this awesome mastermind group that we have in the Masters, but this is also about how people need to understand the benefit of a mastermind group, why it's so powerful to them and can change their lives like it's changed mine, so that they can do something with it, right? Because this isn't about me or this group. And so when you form a mastermind group, or when we are looking at potential members of our mastermind group, the most important thing is that you have somebody that has a humility about them, and a willing to contribute to a group. And those things, sometimes those things get mixed up, because sometimes if you think humility means they're going to sit in a corner and say nothing. Well, you don't really want that. And then sometimes willingness to contribute to a group means they dominate a conversation and they're not willing to listen. Mm-hmm. Both of those are bad, at least in those extremes. What we're looking for are people who can be real and transparent, who are willing to pour into other people. They're willing to pour into them the things that they've learned, the experiences, the successes and tragedies that they've encountered, the strategies that they've acquired. They're willing to pour into people that way, but also to be transparent enough to be real about it. We don't, if you form a group, you don't want wallflowers, and you don't want blowhards. You want people who can be real with each other. Yeah. And that has been, I think, the greatest thing. Also, as you're looking at people for a mastermind group, you want to find the right mix of people. Are they, it's usually best for you personally if you're going to be somewhere in the middle of that group in regards to how far advanced people are in their careers. It's good to have a mix of people that are more experienced than you, and a mix of people who are less experienced than you. so that you can learn from those and also help those. But if you're in your infancy and you're just really not sure, get in a group. You'll probably find you have a lot more to contribute than you realize.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of different things. In fact, I put some of them on this cheat sheet I put together for your viewers.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
so we can share that link out later, share it now, whatever you want. But I put together some things, some of the criteria you look for when finding a mastermind group and also creating one. And so I think I've got that for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have that link up for you guys watching the show, either during the show or definitely at the end of the show, whenever we get a chance to put it up. So I was just going to ask
I just dropped it in there because I
dropped it in. Perfect.
In there.
So do you actually have an application process for your personal mastermind? Do you actually have an application process, and you have a
Yes.
like a phone interview?
It's really more a phone interview process.
Okay.
It's like we may have somebody complete a piece of paper, but that's not going to get us really very far.
Yeah.
You hear people talk about it, passing the crazy eye test. So maybe we can do it over video conference instead. I don't know. But no, it's usually a phone interview, because what I want to find out is, do they have something to offer to the group, but B, is the group going to serve them well? Because there is an investment to be part of the group. It's an investment of finances and an investment of time.
Yes.
And that needs to be successful for them. And the nice thing for us is that most people in our group we've never had anybody quote drop out of the group per se. Everybody who started it is still in the group. We have other people, some people participate in other things as time goes on, and that's great.
Yep.
But our longevity is pretty good.
Excellent. Can you share with us some examples of maybe some of your members joining forces, maybe coming together on projects, and the kind of success that those projects have had?
Yes. So we at our second Yosemite retreat, I didn't even know about this. This all happened like behind the scenes afterwards, which is great. I mean, as someone who creates a group, it's probably the best feeling when you see the group being functional without you. And that was the case here. There was a gal in the group who had been approached with a very large publishing and positioning proposal that involved a book, it involved products, it involved Facebook marketing, it involved all sorts of things. And she knew that she had a good handle on the high level conceptual portions of it, but did not have a good handle on the details of the publishing piece, or the details of the social media piece, or the product creation piece. She knew what the product needed to be. She knew who the target market was. She had the relationship with the client, but she lacked the team that was necessary to come in behind and get all this stuff done. Right. Well, she realized while she was at the Yosemite retreat that her entire team was sitting in the room. And so she tapped one individual in the group who is an expert at publishing and project management. She tapped another person in the group who is an expert at social media and paid traffic and Facebook. Yep. And tapped another member in the group in regards to product creation, and away they went. And what I didn't know is this was a 6-figure plus project. This was no small little thing. And between the members of that project, they were able to come together and build something that individually none of them could have touched. Yeah. So I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and I think you'll see that a lot of that in a lot of different masterminds is the members actually joining forces, coming together on various projects, because one of the main keys of a mastermind is networking with the people in the mastermind and helping them on various projects, or adding to their business, maybe the skill sets that they have for their business. They can offer some assistance with other members in whatever it is or whatever ventures they're going down. Because let's face it, everyone comes to the table with a different set of skill sets, a different knowledge base, and a lot of different experiences that people can tap into. And that's one of the major powers behind a mastermind, is people coming together, joining forces for one common good to try to help each other out with their specific business.
Yeah, I would go take it another step, and I see a mastermind group as something that future-proofs my business. Every member of the group has a different level of experience, like you said. They've gone through trials and challenges that I have yet to encounter, but that I will encounter. Mm-hmm. And I've gone through some things that other people have yet to bump into.
Right.
So what I find is in the mastermind groups, as we kick ideas around or share tools or strategies, someone's already been there, done that.
Yeah.
And they can save me a lot of heartache and time by helping me transition appropriately, or they can say, oh, no, don't do that, Everett. You trust. You do not want to do that.
Yeah.
I would say it's at least as valuable by about the things I'm told not to do as it is by the things I learn to do. And so it's super important there. I also find, even in regards to okay, so I'm a techie guy. I love technology. I love toys, and I love online tools.
Yeah.
In our mastermind group, we're very good about saying, hey, I've tried this tool. It doesn't work. I've tried this tool. It's really great. And I want to share it with everybody. So for example, just last week, Andy Falco, who's one of our organizers in the group, had started working with this tool called 22 Social.
Yes.
And I knew nothing about it, right? I know we were talking a little bit about this earlier. I knew nothing about it, but he arranged for he and I to interview the founders of 22 Social, let them take us through a deep dive, and we did this for the benefit of our entire mastermind group. And that's the kind of thing that we do periodically, is bring content like that so the whole group can ask questions, pick apart, what about this, what about that, and really go at it. And I find that invaluable. It has saved me thousands and thousands of dollars in purchases I would have made had I not got the skinny. And it's helped me focus my resources better.
Yeah, it's getting wrapped up into this sort of world, or where we're doing marketing online. There's so many tools, gadgets, courses that are coming out every single day, and you can just be busy chasing shiny objects all day long and sort of not sticking to your core set of businesses. But if you have other team members that are sort of using something for the benefit of their business, and they're actually able to sort of evaluate it and bring it to the table, say, hey, this is what I'm using, here's how I'm using it, and here's how I'm getting the benefits, or here's how it's working for me. Maybe it'll help you with your business, because I already have an idea or a sense about what your business is, so I think it might be useful. So somebody else has already tried it out, or they've gone through the challenges of setting it up, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So you're not chasing as many shiny objects, but also there's a lot of stuff that we just don't know about. There's so much stuff that comes on the marketplace. I just don't have any idea about all this stuff. As much as you keep up with it, you just don't know everything that's coming along.
Yes, and now what we're talking about a lot is specific to marketing, but applies to any industry. And I want to hit that in a second, but you're right about that, because in our group, for instance, I know that Andy Falco is my Facebook Live expert, and I'll just let him learn and keep track of everything related to Facebook Live. And when I need it, I know where to go.
That's right.
I know that Victoria Griggs is my expert when it comes to paid traffic on Facebook and YouTube. Yes. And when I need more information, I can come to her about that. I probably fulfill a publishing role within our group. And that is super powerful, and it doesn't apply to just marketing.
No.
It's funny. Someone asked me, can anybody benefit from a mastermind group? And I thought about it. I'm thinking probably everybody. I mean, even the garbage man could benefit from a mastermind group to some extent.
Yes.
But almost any industry. I mean, you do a ton with real estate,
yes.
And I'm sure over the years you've participated in mastermind groups or focus groups specifically around real estate, right?
Yeah, coaching and mastermind groups specifically around where there's primarily real estate investors in the group, but also there's realtors or mortgage brokers. There's other dynamics in the group as well, but primarily real estate investors, because you don't want to get all of the exact same people in a group all doing the exact same thing. I mean, it's good for one sense, but there's not as much diversity, so you don't know sort of what you're not doing,
Yes.
what you could be doing, or you all have similar questions, as opposed to somebody coming that doesn't know anything about your industry would have a different set of skill sets and different set of questions that you may think, well, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. And you're right. You do need to have that perfect mix of not everybody having the same homogenous skills and qualifications, which is, when you think about it, impossible anyway. But it is good to have a good mix of people. And yet, think of orthodontists coming together, yes. Right? A group of orthodontists can come together, though, and build each other's businesses, though they probably prefer to be in geographically diverse markets, right? Yes. But you could do this with physicians. You could do it with business owners, executives, HR people, salespeople, teachers, and any middle management position. And you can do anything, because all together you guys can create something that is impossible by yourselves. You also benefit from incredible accountability. The people who joined our group, here's what they've told me almost 201, is that before I joined the group, I would go to seminars and events. I would buy products. I might read the products. I would do next to nothing with any of that. Yes. I would continually dream about it. But when we started getting in a group, people start, like every other week we meet over a video chat, and people go, hey, what have you accomplished? I got this done and I got this done. You hear that enough, you can't come to a call without starting to get stuff done.
That's right.
And we've watched people's businesses who were on this, maybe just barely on a climb, go like that. Yeah. And a mastermind group does that. An effective mastermind group does that.
Yeah, it holds people accountable and actually gets them off their butt to actually take some action. Because a dream is just a dream until you actually take some action, and then it becomes a goal.
Yeah. And that kind of accountability helps make that happen. You've got it. You're doing it by yourself. Like the poor solopreneur, I ache for the solopreneur. And that would be me, by the way, if I didn't have these mastermind groups that I participate in. Now I'm part of an incredibly effective and creative organization that I happen to not beholden to financially, So all the benefits and none of the negatives.
So if you're just joining us, I'm speaking with Everett O'Keefe. He's a 5-time Amazon #1 best-selling author and co-founder of the Masters Mastermind Group, as well as the Mastermind Retreat. He also works with speakers, authors, entrepreneurs who want to improve their business and reach and improve their business and their reach through publishing, video marketing, social media, and strategizing with others. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to enter them in the comments. Give us a flurry of likes and loves. I see that JT has joined us, and he's saying great interview.
Thank you, JT.
Barry just joined as well. So welcome, Barry, JT. Welcome to the show. So like I said, give us a flurry of likes, loves, and share this on your Facebook feed. It's greatly appreciated. And any comments or questions that you have for us. So getting back into it, Everett, how have you introduced the mastermind as part of your overall strategy for your clients? So do you use it for help them build a platform or an offering?
Yeah. So in addition to hosting and facilitating our mastermind group with the masters and putting on these retreats, which have been a blast. In addition to that, I've also helped my clients do the same.
Okay.
So I have one of my clients, in fact, I've probably got his book right here. We'll do a shameless plug for my buddy Frank Lies.
Frank, yeah.
So Frank speaks to financial advisors and trains them in how to build their practices, especially through story. And he's a phenomenal speaker. Well, what we did with him is we helped him to create a mastermind retreat. We did it in Roanoke, Virginia, and had a great time with advisors from around the nation that came there. And then one of the things I'm really big on when you're going to do a retreat is doing special elements, experience elements. And so for his, we had everybody join him at his house one night for a barbecue and horseback riding on his property. And when you do little things like that, you have no idea what impact it will have. Some people had never ridden a horse in their lives, and they just found the whole experience touched both their left part of their brain and their right part of their brain. When we did our Aspen retreat, we had this mountain bike ride along this path, beautiful through the fall foliage and all of that. Well, what we didn't know, and we learned afterward, was that a couple people had they were in their 50s, had not ridden a bike since their teens or 20s. And they were nervous about it, by the way. And it sparked something in them. And so we try to do everything, always something that does that. But anyway, back to your question. Yes, I help my clients to create mastermind groups and to help them also create these mastermind retreats. Because it's also a great positioning tool for them. Instantly, if you create a group of people, even among peers, if you're the facilitator for it, you are no longer truly among peers. You're always going to be considered a little bit of step above. And with that comes great opportunities, frankly.
Yeah, exactly. So you're using it to help them with their positioning in their marketplace and really accelerating their authority, keeping them sort of above the crowd. It's very much like becoming a best-selling author. You're positioning them, you're using the book, facilitating a mastermind is another great strategy when it comes to, accelerating somebody's authority. So it's a great piece. So, and I definitely get what you're talking about when you're, doing these non-business type things at the mastermind groups, because I feel that they actually bring the group closer together as a more cohesive unit, because it's not always just about business. You've got people connecting on a more personal level.
Yeah. In fact, I'd like to share a story about that.
Sure.
So a month after our first retreat in Yosemite, and by the way, it was a very emotional retreat. In addition to us learning tools and strategies and having a lot of fun, there were times that we cried together as well as we shared some of our challenges. And when we left that, we were a family. I mean, we'd been spending 3 days in a family room, in a log cabin in the woods instead of around some conference table in a hotel somewhere. And we had bonded through hiking and meals and all these things. And a month later, almost to the day, my business partner who helped me put that all together passed away. I was at a conference in Southern California, and he was playing a kind of a pickup volleyball game here, and he sat down in between games and he died. Wow. And I found out about it at the conference. And what happened then was this incredible thing, because most of the people that had been at our retreat were also at this conference. And when they found out about it, they gathered around me right there in the middle of the conference and prayed for me. It was my family, even where I had no of my biological family. And they came around and really took care of me in that time. And it went beyond that. They took care of John's family financially through helping to support, to contribute to the kids' college and stuff. And they came around me as our business struggled, because half of it was now ripped out and the other half, me, was in a really bad way. Yeah. And they came around and supported me through that business or through that time. And I'm convinced absolutely that would not have happened had we not just spent 3 days in the woods in Yosemite. And that story has played out actually a couple more times as people in the group have encountered tragedies in their lives, and the group has come together to support them. It's been, I'll be honest with you, it's been a magical thing. And John, I don't want to I don't want to cast stones, but you and I participated in some mastermind events that have been of a more traditional kind, where we've spent more time in hotel rooms around conference tables and stuff, and we've shared great strategies and connected with each other. But we've not had the ability to benefit from the kind of bonding that comes from an event like a retreat. So what the irony of it is that people don't go to a retreat to get that. They go to a retreat to get the strategies, the tools, and all of those things. Yeah. But when they leave, they get what they really needed, which was the strategies, the tools, and all of those things, but also the family and the community around them that will help see them down the road.
Yeah, it's that connection that you're building that's going to help build those long-lasting, not only business relationships, but personal relationships as well.
Yeah.
It can definitely help out in whatever's going on in your life. You can reach out, you feel that you can reach out to those individuals, whether it be business or personal situations. You know, you've got an extended family to reach out to and to help and support you along the way.
Yeah, and in a way that your own family can't, because your own family can't understand a lot of the business things you're going through, right? And quite frankly, there have been times I didn't want to share the financial struggles my business was having with my wife. When I was waking up in the middle of the night and crying on the floor, I couldn't tell her because I didn't want to cause stress in her life, but I could tell my mastermind group these things. I could share with those members. So it's as you can tell, I'm a little bit connected to this.
For sure. You've definitely created, the mastermind's not a unique, but sort of your spin or your perspective on it is more, it's a little bit different than what we normally know for a mastermind, the traditional boardroom setting, strategies, tactics, and, connecting with, a few of the members after the event's over, in the evening for dinner or maybe for a social drink, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you can only go about this deep in a business setting, in a purely business setting. And you can go unlimited depth if you can spend some time outside of that. So that's
So if you're just joining us, I'm speaking with Everett O'Keefe. He's a 5-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, co-founder of the Masters Mastermind Group, as well as the Mastermind Retreat. Also works with authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who want to improve their business and their reach through publishing, video marketing, social media, and strategizing with others. So if you have any questions for us, any comments, please leave them in Facebook. Please leave them in the comment section below. We'll try to get to any questions that you may have. And definitely give us some likes, give Everett some love. Hit that thumbs up button, the heart button, and share this with your friends on Facebook. And I noticed that Andy Broadway just joined us. Welcome, Andy. Welcome to the show. And so next question for you, Everett. Are you currently teaching entrepreneurs to set this up and run it effective, like really run effective masterminds? Are you creating a course, or sort of how are you working with other entrepreneurs to actually implement this into their business?
Sure. I've actually got a book and a product that are 95% done that I just have not yet kind of let out to the world. And I appreciate your interviewing me today, because it's helped to bring some of that need back out to make that happen. But I feel so strongly that we can all benefit from mastermind groups. We should all be in at least one. And then we need to also know how to get the most out of them. It's not just a matter of being in one. I think also you can double or triple the effectiveness of a group if you know how best to leverage a mastermind group. Yes. So that's what I'm putting together is basically the information necessary for people to know how to find the best kind of mastermind group. If they can't find it, create it, how best to lead it and facilitate it. And then ultimately also how, if they want to create their own mastermind events, their own mastermind retreats, whether those are for profit or for not. And so that's all in the works. And as part of that, I created this tip sheet. I just dropped it in the chat log here.
Excellent, thanks.
And really what it is, it's designed to be those tips to help people find the right mastermind group, create the right mastermind group, and leveraged really to get the most out of their participation. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share one strategy right now that's not even on the chip sheet.
Sure, we got some time.
Okay, cool. So I love this. I'm always learning from the people that I mastermind with, always about a million things, and sometimes it's also about masterminding. Yeah. So Steve Walther is a member of one of our mastermind groups that I'm in, and super, super sharp guy. Well, as a group, we've been meeting every couple weeks over Skype, and of his own initiative, he says, and by the way, this is a simple thing, but it has legs to it. On his own, he says, you know what? We should probably have a private page in Facebook. We should probably have a private Facebook page. Yeah. So he goes ahead and sets that up, and then sees about it to start populating that page with relevant content from his head or things he encounters and stuff like that. Well, by doing that, Steve immediately has elevated himself above the plane of the rest of the mastermind group. He shows himself to be a leader, somebody who takes initiative. And then he also is in charge of the conversation, right? He's the admin on that page. And so this is one really simple thing people can do if they're in a mastermind group that doesn't have such a page. Make it happen. Easy to do. Make it happen. Another tip I'll share is if you are at an event and you're trying to find a mastermind group and there isn't one that you've been bumping into, just create your own from those people, from other people, like-minded people. You can do amazing things that way. So anyway, some of this stuff is in this tip sheet I put together for people, and some of it's not.
Excellent. That sounds like it's great. But I have a very specific question, and this is
I'm scared now.
It's my own question, actually. So you know that I'm quite an introverted person.
That's what blows my mind. I've called you out before as being an introvert, and then here you are doing this live show on the web, for crying out loud.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, I have no problem speaking on stage. I have no problem being on camera, doing shows, but get me in a group setting, like specifically like mastermind. So let's talk about the mastermind that we were in together.
Yeah.
I love being in masterminds, and I get a lot out of the masterminds listening to other people and the facilitators. But being an introvert, it's not in my nature, and it's not that I can't take myself out of my comfort zone and participate. But how do you deal? Do you have a strategy or working with people like myself who are more introverted? I have a great base of knowledge. I don't have a lot of depth of knowledge in any specific industry. I have a couple, maybe real estate investing, a couple other that I have a deep knowledge in, but I have a very good broad knowledge of a lot of different strategies, a lot of different things when it comes to either business or marketing or processes and procedures.
You're sharp. For crying out loud.
So how do you deal with somebody like me in a mastermind who is more of an introvert that has a ton of knowledge and has the ability or can share it, has a lot of great stuff to share, but isn't opening up?
Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to, there was a time I was in a certification class. In fact, JT might have been in it with me, maybe Andy as well.
Which one?
I don't remember if it was the Author Expert Marketing Machines. I don't think so. I think it was a Top Gun Consulting by Ed Rush, now that I think about it.
I was in that one. No, I was in one of the ones, but I think it was a later one, not the earlier one.
So there's 20 of us, I think, maybe it's 25 of us in a small classroom. And for 3 days, we have been working with each other. And a part of that working with each other, it wasn't technically a mastermind group, but we were all contributing to the conversation. Yeah. And over on this side sat these two women, okay? And their industry, I guess, was something to do with medical. And they sat there the whole 3 days with frowns on their faces, okay? And it was the weirdest thing. It was like this weird presence at the edge of the room. And there was, and at one point, Ed was facilitating it, and this is like on the third day or something, and he specifically asked them a question. And basically, hey, from your experience, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? And when they started to speak, it was incredible. They were so freaking smart. They had so much to share.
Yeah.
And they spent 3 days not sharing it. And like the one little nugget they let out was like, you just sat there and you went, why have you been like just sitting there as unused potential this whole time? So quite frankly, I think a lot of that comes down to the facilitator's role. Every mastermind group needs to have a facilitator, someone who manages the conversation so that someone like me doesn't take over, right? They have to have a facilitator. When I'm facilitating, I want to reach into those quiet people. And sometimes I'll just do it as an aside. Like if I hear a strategy and I think it might work for them, I'll say, hey, you know what, Bob, that might be a good one for you. Do you think you could see how you could use it? And it's almost like that gives Bob a chance to come out and play a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I think as a facilitator, and it's something that I think you do need to work on and develop, but it means getting some information out of people because they've got so much to contribute. Especially the ones who don't think they have anything to contribute. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, but
no, it's right.
Those people who
I also
don't
know
think
the onus is on me as well, right? To step
it
out
is.
of my,
It
to actually
is, and that's why, like in our application process, we talk about contribution mindset.
Yeah.
At the beginning of every retreat, we talk about a contribution mindset. But you're right; you'll get more out of it if you share more. But also, John, sitting with you in these events, I know I've sat with you when you've been really quiet for a long time, but when you open your mouth, it's because you have something important to say. And you don't open your mouth when you're in a spot where you're like, I don't really think I want to just waste a bunch of airtime on.
That's my philosophy. That's a lot of my philosophy in life.
Yeah,
if I actually have something useful to say, I'll say it. If I don't have anything different to contribute, or if I'm in agreement with the rest of the group, then why bother even saying anything just to hear myself talk? I don't like, I don't need to hear myself talk.
Right. And then I'm the guy who gets freaked out by dead air, but that's probably why it's good for me to be the facilitator.
Yeah. So do you have any idea when your information might be available to?
So the book about masterminds and how to get the most out of them, I don't have a title yet for it, is actually at my editor right now.
Okay.
The videos are edited and done and packaged. I just haven't launched them yet. And going back to the 22 social thing, it's all about the right tool. And maybe with that, I'll go ahead and just put it so people can opt into it through Facebook. If you guys want to test that tech, by the way, that tip sheet I put out, I actually did it with 22 social, so that when you opt in through Facebook of all things, rather than through
a website,
normal things.
Website. Yeah.
And so it's just kind of an experimenting with the tool and seeing what I think about it.
Yeah, I sent that the link to my outsourcer as well to look at it and potentially set it up for me. Because it looks like it's quite an interesting piece of software, integrating right into Facebook, and it looks like it could, not replace a lot of stuff, but you could use it for a lot of similar purposes, opt-ins, membership areas.
There's a lot of things could be done with it. And what's great about this, and John, I just share this with the viewers, we're not talking about this to plug this one tool. No. So it's fun, like we're playing with it, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully this is one example of what happens in a mastermind, because when I get together with my mastermind group, I have a family of people who have had their ear to the ground about things that may be interesting to me and useful to my business. Yeah. And how can we not be more successful? I think Napoleon Hill, when he was talking about mastermind groups, said that you can accomplish more in a year in a mastermind group than you could in 5 or 10 years on your own. I've seen that play out. I've seen it play out over and over again.
Yeah. No, I don't think that you have you shared your the web address to the Mastermind Retreat yet?
No, but if you go to, I think, mastermindretreat.net, it'll land you someplace where you can get some information. But so mastermindretreat.net. But I would also say that if you're interested in, like there, you'll see a cool sizzle reel about all the fun things we do and the impact it's had on people's businesses. But if you're interested in learning about the Masters and participating in our group, just reach out to me privately on Facebook. We can all connect to each other here. And like I said, there is an investment of your time and money, and nothing worthwhile lacks those two elements. And because there's an investment of your time and resources, you're also working with in a group of high caliber people, not tire kickers. These are people who are doing incredible things to a one. There isn't a single person in the group that hasn't just stepped up their game within a couple months of joining the group and done really great things.
Yeah, there's two quotes that I keep going back to when it comes to coaching and mastermind. And one is, I believe it's our coach Ed says, you can't cheap your way to a success. And another one, I don't know who started the phrase, but if you don't pay attention.
Right.
So those are two philosophies that I wholeheartedly believe in. Because there's, especially, even from my experience, my coaching experience in the real estate investing space, that there's a lot of tire kickers, a lot of people that just want to monopolize your time and basically don't end up doing anything. So, if you want someone's time or you want to be a part of a high-end strategy session or a mastermind group, then be prepared that it is an investment in yourself. It's not an investment in the group, it's an investment in yourself. So, if you're looking to take that next step or move forward, then you definitely need to continuously be investing in yourself, either through courses, coaches, and masterminds, to take your business to the next level.
That's right. And we set ours up too, where the investment in the group also covers your first retreat. And our retreats are gourmet food. We bring our own chef usually, and all the activities and all of that. So the investment's really not that big.
So
make it bigger.
Any closing remarks, Everett, before I let you go?
Yeah, anybody listening to this, if you're not in at least one mastermind group, you need to be in one. If you're in one that you don't think is very effective, get out and get in another one, or form one, and just use that. I mean, you just cannot help but improve your business. Had I known about mastermind groups when I was in my 20s, oh my word. So and my book, when I'm done, will be one of the things I share with my kids too, because I also want them to benefit from masterminds.
Excellent. Thanks. Well, thank you, Everett, for being on the show. Everyone show Everett some love by hitting that like button, love button. Be sure to share this with your friends, associates.
Grab the tip sheet, please. Grab the tip sheet and give me feedback on it too.
Download the tip sheet. Give Everett some feedback. Things that, suggestions you may have, or just let him know that you liked it. Everett, it's been great having you on the show. I look forward to chatting with you again and connecting again next time I'm down to San Diego. So with that, thank you very much for everything. And
thanks for having me, and thanks for doing this for people. I mean, I think it's a great service.
No worries. So I'll be right back with my closing remarks in a second. All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's show with our guest, Everett O'Keefe. I have heard Everett's story of transformation in so many of our events and mastermind groups. It's so inspiring. Much of his rise is from his faith in himself and his abilities, but also in the people that he surrounds himself with. Investing in coaches and attending masterminds are one of the best investments you can make in yourself if you're looking to grow your business. Now, you know what they say, your income is the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So either find wealthier friends or spend your time in masterminds with people who are more successful than you are. Now, Napoleon Hill said it best when talking about masterminds. The mastermind principle is 2 or more people actively engaged in the pursuit of a definite purpose with a positive mental attitude constitute an unbeatable force. So deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think and act on building the life that you deserve. And the best way you can do that is through the use of a mastermind group. Now, for more information on coaching programs or being part of mastermind groups, then connect with either Everett or myself and get yourself in one as soon as possible. With that, I want to thank you for joining me on today's show and hope that you'll join me tomorrow where we have another great guest lined up for you and in an hour of entertaining education for the entrepreneur, business owner, author, expert, speaker. So until tomorrow, this is John A. McCabe wishing you an amazing day. And remember, success comes to those who become success conscious.